the reports of Shedeur Sanders out of camp have been pretty positive, both from an on-the-field, impressive sort of way, and then he had his media availability yesterday, and I listened to the whole thing, and honestly, I was just very impressed. Like, say what you want about Shedeur Sanders, he is saying the right things in that press conference. He has the confidence that he always has, and made a joke about. He was asked like what people can expect from him, the difference in a game now that he's NFL level, and he essentially said like, have you watched me in college? I'm still the same guy. But then he also talked about the growth and treating everybody with respect and care, and he's been very open about perhaps wishing that he had handled the pre-draft process differently. But my favorite answer from yesterday came from a question about him not wanting his dad, Deion Sanders, to necessarily come watch him at camp. And in case this didn't cross your timeline, take a listen to what Shedeur Sanders had to say about that.
I mean, like I look at it at my own point of view. Like, I don't want him coming to see me right now because I want to get to where I want to go then for him to see me. I don't want him to come and see me, get a couple reps and, he's cheering like a good dad. Like, nah, you can't be proud of me right now. I got to get to where I'm going, and I know it's a lot I got to do to get there. So it's kind of like I just want everything that I'm doing is just, like, focus on this time, and I don't want no distractions because we know out of media, we know how everybody would take it and take away from the team just from him being my own dad showing up. So, it's a gift and a curse at the same time. Because
one, Shedeur Sanders' understanding of like not being at a place where he feels he deserves overt praise from his dad coming and watching him at camp, but I think more importantly, the understanding of the circus that can quickly develop around him at times, and now this act of actively avoiding that. Like, it keeps the focus on the main thing. And we've never had a fifth-round pick like Shedeur Sanders. We've never had a fifth-round pick talked about in the same way as him, and with the familial connection to Coach Prime and with all of the attention garnered during his college career, first at Jackson State and then at Colorado, and now getting to a place where he's, yes, a fifth-round pick, and yes, fourth on the Browns quarterback depth chart, but he's still going to be someone who makes headlines no matter what he does. And I just thought there was a maturity in understanding, like, I don't need this extra layer of flash when perhaps in years past it would have been the natural inclination to do. I thought there's been some learning there, and it's good for everybody involved because it allows him to just be himself and to go through this preseason process and figure out his place in the Brown system. A Brown system that is a mess, but still, you don't need it to be any more of a mess than what he already has to go through.
I want to push back just a tad bit on something you said there. You said it in passing, but I think it warrants just a quick mention.
Yes.
It's okay for fathers to be proud of their sons. It's okay for fathers to see their children, their sons and their daughters, right? It's okay for a father to see his child do something minuscule and to go absolutely crazy with joy. Like, that's what we want in our fathers, but understanding that if Deion Sanders does that for Shedeur Sanders, they can both understand where Shedeur is on a real depth chart. They can both understand Shedeur is behind all of these people. Shedeur go in there for 5 reps. He makes a great throw. Deion Sanders goes out there and loses his mind watching his son do something like that. Just something real small and minuscule. It leads all of the sports talk shows. Yeah. Immediately. This, to your point, this isn't a regular 5th-round pick. This isn't a regular NFL player. This isn't even a NFL player whose father played in the NFL. Because Prime is so much different than what everybody else is. The showman that Deion Sanders is so much different and larger than what everybody else is. Anything that he does celebrating Shedeur Sanders, which we want our fathers to do with our children, anything he does will be taken way out of context. If this was just a generic 5th-round pick and his father was out there losing his mind after a couple of completions that he got at the end of practice, running with the 3rd and 4th team, we would throw it up on ESPN or hit it on social media and be like, look at that. Look at that proud father right there. Look at him. And we wouldn't think anything of it. Deion Sanders does it, we'll make a whole big to-do about everything that goes on from that point forward. And for Shedeur to understand that, to your point, shows a bit of mental maturity, something that the NFL teams, the owners, felt like he didn't have and why he ended up falling to the 5th round.
And thank you for clarifying on that, because I hate that that's the case for him. Like that's a lesson that had to be learned, because I believe that there should be overwhelming pride and celebration of all of life's. Like, you made it to the NFL. That is something that the majority of players who touch a football field never have the opportunity to do. But people get so weird about the celebration of accomplishments when it comes from perhaps somebody who is as polarizing as a Shedeur Sanders. And like, even when he was giving his comments, he was like, for whatever reason, the people who hate me for whatever reason, I hope to prove them wrong and all that.
The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hart, live every weekday at 8 a.m.